Hello fellow book nerds, this is Gabby and today we're gonna be bitching about some books. Hello everyone, today we're gonna be tier ranking all the books I've read in 2021 so far. I definitely got this idea from Meg with Books, but I've seen loads of other people do all kinds of tier making videos. I've never made one before, which seems like a shame because they look so fun. I've always been too lazy to make up my own tier thingy, but it's actually really easy, so I was like, god damn, could have been doing this way earlier. I'm gonna list the tier making template down below if you want to check it out. I'm gonna link Meg's video as well if you wanted to check it out. And if you don't know what tier making is, or tier ranking I guess, so it's simple. In this video I'm just gonna talk about all books I read in 2021 and I'm gonna put them in one of 7 tiers. Like initially I had 5 tiers, but then I realized that's kind of just like giving them 1 or 5 stars. Like it was a bit boring. To spice it up, I decided that we're gonna be talking about these books in 7 categories, and each of the categories is a movie quote. Not all of them I've seen, but the quotes really speak to me and they're doing what I want them to do. We're only gonna be talking about books that I've read up till today, which is the 18th of July, so I'm pre-filming a little bit, so probably since by the time you've watched this video I'm gonna have read a little bit, couple more books, but doesn't matter, it's just for fun anyway. And we're gonna have a big, maybe I'll make one for the rest of the year, end of the year as well, if you guys enjoy, so let me know. I think first we need to talk about the tiers, so let's go from the bottom, right? So our bottom tier is I could have been somebody instead of a bum, which is what I am.
I could have been somebody instead of a bum, which is what I am. So this is the worst tier. This is literally like terrible book, would not recommend, probably did something to offend me. There are probably not many of them, not gonna lie, but this one's like just not it, completely not it. The next tier is Mama says stupid is as stupid does.
Mama says stupid is as stupid does.
So that one's from Forrest Gump, and this one is like, this book was just not it, probably did some stupid things that I did not approve of, and it was just like not good. Actively not good. Think like actively not good. The next tier is what we've got here is a failure to communicate.
What we've got here is failure to communicate.
So this one's maybe not terrible and like I can see its merits, but it's just not for me. So something between me and the book in the communicating of the themes, of the writing, of the characters, of the plot, something broke down there and we just ain't communicating. Me and this book ain't vibing, you know? The next tier is I wish I knew how to quit you.
I wish I knew how to quit you.
So this is a special tier for books that I think are not that good, but they're so addicting. And there are books like this that you're thinking like, why am I reading this? But also it's amazing. I'm sorry for all the screaming children. I really am. I'm sorry. So yeah, this tier is for books that I thought were probably not the greatest writing, maybe not the greatest themes, maybe not the greatest message, but they were just so addicting. I just could not quit them. I wish I knew how to, but I just couldn't. Then the next one is Nobody Puts Baby in a Corner.
Nobody puts baby in a corner.
Obviously, Dirty Dancing. I love that movie so much. And like Patrick Swayze is just like a dreamboat. But this is a tier for books that I thought were amazing, but maybe underrated, or like people were not appreciating its genius. So I want to give it to you because Nobody Puts Baby in the Corner, okay? She's dancing out there. She's dancing her heart out. And then we have You Had Me at Hello.
You had me at hello.
So this is a book I loved. I loved everything about it and I loved the concept from the beginning as well, and it just really works for me. So, you know, You Had Me at Hello book. Okay, and the last tier, the best tier, the creme de la creme is Made It Ma, Top of the World.
Made it, man! Top of the world!
So this book, I think, is what literature is all about. I think it represents everything about me and literature that's great. And I want you to give its proper due because it's something and it's amazing and it's an amazing something, yes. Okay, so we're gonna just kick off, I guess. Okay, so the first book we have is an amazing one. So the first book we have is Fifth Season by N.K. Jemisin. I'm not gonna tell you all synopsis for all of these books, but basically this one is like a sci-fi post-apocalyptic. In this world, people have powers and they can control Earth, and it's absolutely amazing. A first book, but it's gotta go to made it my top of the world. I truly think that Fifth Season is just such an amazing novel. The way it just like has characters and the relationships, has a poly relationship. I just loved it so much. Everything about it was great. Then we have Rolling in the Deep, which is a short story. So it's prequel to the Drowning in the Deep by Mira Grant. Drowning in the Deep tells a story about this ship that went missing and mermaids took it, basically. I would say Nobody Puts Baby in a Corner because like I liked it. It was really good. I actually think it was maybe better than the first book, like slightly, you know, like it was quite enjoyable, and I don't think it gets any recognition whatsoever, but like I've read a lot of mermaid books this year and like this one was one of the better ones. Okay, Atlas 6. So this one's a dark academia book, and we follow these people that get drafted into this Alexandrian society, and they have to eliminate one of them by the end of the year, and they get access to like amazing magic and stuff. It's either You Had Me at Hello or Nobody Puts Baby in a Corner. But I feel like because it's self-published, it's underrated. But at the same time, everyone on Twitter was like going crazy for it. So I think when they read it, they really liked it. Like I was happy with it and it was good. It was good setup, but maybe it wasn't like the best. So I think You Had Me at Hello because I thought I enjoyed it from the premise, and I did. Okay, so next book is The Fate of Stars. So this is a book about a mermaid and a guard, and they have a romance. It wasn't terrible, but I think because I've hated every mermaid book I read this year, and I read a lot because I'm trying to find one I like. This one wasn't terrible, so I was like, yeah, that's good, but it wasn't really. I would say there's a little bit of a failure to communicate because I was just a bit confused. Like the relationship started off rocky, you know, that's the thing with it. Okay. The next book we have is The Midnight Bargain. So this book I've read for a video, and I think the vlog just came out. It was recommended by TikTokers and I decided to read it. And it's kind of like a Bridgerton, Regency era historical fantasy. I loved it. I don't think it gets the recognition it deserves. It goes into Nobody Puts Baby in a Corner because it was so good. And like especially the themes of like misogyny and feminism and all of that, women's right to choose. No one ever talks about it, and I feel like that's just criminal. The next book is Kingdom of Copper, which is the sequel to, what was that book called? City of Brass. It's a sequel to City of Brass, and I loved City of Brass so much, and Kingdom of Copper were always hard to get through. Oh my god, but the ending was amazing, but it was so long and meandering and nothing happened. It's just like, it's about the city where there are djinn, and this main girl gets taken to the djinn city because she's a djinn too. Mama says stupid is as stupid does. Yeah, you know why? Because this did not need to be this long and somehow ended up that long, and I just don't understand why. Then we have A Court of Silver Flames, which is the newest book in A Court of Thorns and Roses series by Sarah J. Maas. I thought it was good. Okay, I'm gonna put it in I Wish I Knew How to Quit You because really all of Sarah J. Maas's books, I just read them for the smut, and like there's better smut out there anyway, but I just something so addicting about it. I'm addicted, I don't know. Then we have Agnes at the End of the World, which is kind of like a cult book. We follow Agnes, who's been raised in a cult her whole life, and her coming to terms, but it's really like post-apocalyptic as well. I enjoyed it, but it was super weird and not for everyone. And it was weirdly religious. I'm going to put it in the I Wish I Knew How to Quit You because there was some serious Messiah Jesus vibes that I was not expecting, and I feel like it was trying to convert me a little bit, but like I still kind of thought it was a good book. So that's why it goes there. Okay. Then we have A Dark and Hollow Star, which is an interesting one because I love this book. So this one is an urban fantasy set in Toronto, and we have like fae and gods, and it's really, really interesting. But it's so underrated. No one loves it. No one talks about it ever. Like no one ever. So I'm saying Nobody Puts Baby in a Corner, and everyone needs to talk about it because like they did not have me at hello because I did not think I'd like it because no one talks about it. But it's amazing. It's got 2 queer relationships. It's really, really good. The next book we have is Days of Blood and Starlight by Laini Taylor. So this is second book in the Daughter of Smoke and Bone trilogy, and this was a reread. I actually read it as a buddy read with some of you guys, and we had a whole read along going. You know, I'm gonna put it in It Had Me at Hello. It's such a good book, but I don't know if it's the top of the world, you know. Then we have Invisible Women, which is a non-fiction about like statistics about how women are getting discriminated. I'm gonna put it in Nobody Puts Baby in a Corner because we need to know this stuff and it's underrated and everyone needs to read it. Then we have the Across Green Grass Fields, which is another book in Shannon Maguire's series, like the Wayward Children series. And like, I like the whole series, like it's good, but it has definitely some better and some good ones. And this book is just like, it was alright, but I didn't love it. And I don't know, I feel like I don't have a tier for this because like it was good, but I kind of forgot about it. Like it was fun in the moment, it was good, but like meh. I'm gonna put it in a failure to communicate because it didn't communicate its lasting value to me. Oh my god, then we have Grown by Tiffany D. Jackson, which is a contemporary novel about this girl who wants to become a musician and gets entangled with this famous singer that tells her that he can help her get famous, but it was all a little bit of a scam and it's definitely all about abuse, inspired by R. Kelly and stuff. So it was a heavy read, but it's in the top of the world, absolute masterpiece, gorgeous book, so painful, so hurtful. You just wanna cry and hug the main character, but like it was beautiful. Then we have Dear Martin, which is another book talking about the Black experience as well, and it was about this boy who goes through his life and writes these letters to Dr. Martin Luther King and like his day-to-day. It was really sad, really heartbreaking. I'm gonna put it at You Had Me at Hello. I had high expectations, it definitely met it. Okay, then we have A Torch Against the Night. Let's just do Amber in the Ashes first. So then we have Amber in the Ashes, which is the first book in the Amber in the Ashes quartet, and this one we follow a girl whose whole family gets killed and she joins the rebellion and spies on the enemy. I thought this book was so good. You Had Me at Hello. I've heard amazing things. It was also part of my TikTok vlog and like it was so good. Totally lived up to the hype. Loved it. While we're there, I can do the sequel. You know what? I had high expectations from the sequel and it lived up to it. Like, I think it was really good actually. So totally deserved a spot in You Had Me at Hello. Okay, then we have The Seep. So this one's very interesting. It's a kind of like a short story sci-fi novel where there's this alien species called the Seep and it infiltrates Earth and it basically fixes the society. There are no problems no longer and the society's perfect. But the main character kind of struggles with a sense of purpose and all of that. You know what? It's very hard to say because I did not have high expectations. I didn't think I'd love it, but I did hear Kayla from Books and Lala say that she loved it. So I thought, maybe I will then, and I decided to give it a shot. And like, it was so good. I think I'm gonna put it in Nobody Puts Baby in the Corner because I've not heard that many good reviews except for maybe Kayla's, and it's definitely like an adult book, so it needs its due, you know? Okay, then we have Project by Courtney Summers. I had such high hopes for this book. I love cult books. I read it in the same videos as Agnes at the End of the World. And I must say, I was pretty disappointed. Like, it was okay, but not as good as Sadie, I wouldn't say. I really questioned the character's choices. I mean, I know that's the point, but like, I really did not enjoy it. And like, the audiobook was okay, but it was nothing special. I mean, this one wasn't a podcast. It's basically about this girl whose sister joins a cult, and many years later, she tries to find her sister and like get her out of the cult, but kind of gets involved with the cult herself. I would say it's a failure to communicate. It wasn't terrible, but it just did not resonate with me whatsoever. Okay, the next book we have is Sleeping Giants. So this book is a sci-fi novel where we as a humanity find this large hand in the middle of the desert, and turns out it's like a part of a whole and we try to reassemble this giant. I thought I might like it. I'm not a big sci-fi reader, so it was just like a maybe, but I loved it and the audiobook was just out of this world, so good. I truly think it was such a good production because it was also like in a form of interviews, so the audiobook just really lended itself to like perfection. I really loved it. I would say You Had Me at Hello. Like, once I started listening to the audiobook, it had me, you know what I mean? Okay, then we have Bone Crier's Moon, which I was so excited about this one because it has a beautiful cover and I was like really into it. Overall, it was fine, but like nothing special really. Like, the more times gone by since I read it, the more I'm like, It's fine. I would say failure to communicate. I feel like it could have done more. It just didn't really. Okay, so the next book we have is The Order of Pure Moon Reflected in Water. So this book is like a short story wuxia, which is like the martial arts fantasy, and it was pretty good. I quite enjoyed it. It was cute. I like it because it was also talking about important things like gender expression and stuff, so I really like it. The Mermaid. Oh my god. So this book, so it's about a mermaid who works at the Barnum thing. It was so boring. I hated it. I'm putting it, I could have been somebody instead of a bum, which is what I am. It was just like, it had potential, but it's just like, no. Then we have Mermaid of Bad Conch, fun one. It wasn't badly written, but I didn't like it. So I'm gonna say Mama says stupid is as stupid does, because maybe a failure to communicate, because it got so many, like it was way better than The Mermaid or Kingdom Cropper. Well, another mermaid one. Okay, The Mermaid Moon. Could have been somebody instead of a bum, which is what I am. No thank you. It was so boring. Another mermaid book, I don't even remember. Oh, okay, the next one is When No One Is Watching, and this one is a thriller, and it's about gentrification basically, and it was so freaking good. I would say You Had Me at Hello. I thought I would like it, and from the opening with its slow building of tension, just setting up the mood, it did such a good job, and it just kept going and kept going. Brilliant. Then we have A Hero Born, which is another wuxia / martial arts fantasy, and I was really surprised, but I ended up really enjoying this one. I read it for a video where I read translated books, and this one's translated from Mandarin, and it was like really good. Completely different than what I normally read. I'm gonna put it in You Had Me at Hello. I feel like it deserves that. Then Memory Police. I thought I would enjoy this book. So this one's like a light sci-fi Japanese novel, and we follow like this island where things like get forgotten basically. I'm gonna put it in Mama Says Stupid Is as Stupid Does, because like the main character is not it, and just the whole concept I feel like was wasted. Like it was so good in theory, and I thought it was like a high-stakes sci-fi, which is my expectations, so kind of my fault, but like at the same time it could have been so much better. Ooh, A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. Ooh, okay. You know what? I'm gonna put it in Made It Mad Top of the World, because it executed its genre and its goals that it set out to do perfectly. I think it was really good. It was full of tension, good protagonist, cute little romance, good mystery. Really worked for me. Like it was really fun. Maybe I wouldn't say it's like as good as Grown or as good as Fifth Season, but like they're good in their own genres, and this one is good in its genre. Ooh, then we have Ace of Spades. So this book is Get Out meets Gossip Girl, and we follow these two black teens who, what are they doing? Are at the school, and they get bullied, and they get messages from this person called Aces threatening to show all of their secrets to the world. Is it Made It Mad Top of the World or You Had Me at Hello? I would say it was You Had Me at Hello. Like it was really good, but maybe not quite at the Made It Mad level, but like really good. Then we have Home, which is the sequel to Binti. Sci-fi short stories. The first one really good. This one was really good as well, but I just don't really remember much about it. I really wish I put a tier, which is like, it was alright. I don't remember. I'm putting it Nobody Puts Baby in a Corner because it's definitely underrated. No one truly appreciates it, and I'm gonna making this judgment looking at other books in the categories, and it does not deserve to go to those. Cemetery Boys. So this one talks about a trans teen, Latinx teen, and it's like a little mystery, and there's a ghost as well. I love this one. I would say You Had Me at Hello, and the reason is it's not Made It Mad because like the plot twist was so predictable. Like it was Disney Channel level of like predictability. I've had Disney Channel movies surprise me more than this one, but everything else about it I loved. Like I loved the family aspect, cultural aspect, I loved the main characters, like I loved all of it, but like the plot itself was really predictable. Okay, Chain of Iron. I gotta go to I Wish I Knew How to Quit You, because all of Cassandra Clare's books from the Shadowhunters series, I just should stop. I'm too old for this, but also it's amazing, it's addicting, it's written really well. Like I don't know, I Wish I Knew How to Quit You You know, I'm not quitting, you know. So these are good books. Like, I enjoyed these. These are good. Next up, we have Diary of a Murderer, which is a short story collection. And the main one, the main short story, which takes about half a book, is about a retired serial killer who's like decides to do one last kill. I'm gonna put it to, you know what? Let's put it, failure to communicate, because I didn't realize it was short stories and I had completely different expectations. What I ended up getting was good, but it's just not what I kind of wanted. So that's where it goes. Okay, then we have Disfigured, which is a non-fiction novel about how fairy tales shape our perception of disabled people. That was such a good book. I'm gonna put it in Made It Ma, Top of the World. I feel like it was as good as non-fiction gets. Really, really informative, really, really strong book. I really, really enjoyed it. Next up, we have Daughter of Smoke and Bone, which is the first book in series where the Days of Blood and Style was the second book. I'm gonna put all of these in You Had Me at Hello because it was a reread. I knew I was gonna love them and they deserve it, you know? Next up, we have Firekeeper's Daughter. So this book is a YA thriller and we follow a Native American teen who helps the FBI uncover who's behind the meth epidemic in her community. It's either You Had Me at Hello or Ma Made It. You know what, I'm gonna put it in Made It Ma, Top of the World, because the author clearly put so much heart into it. Like, she's been writing it since she was 18 and it came out when she was 54. The writing was so good, the characters were so good, the main character was so compelling, the plot was interesting, the twists were good, the thrill was there. It was literally nothing, and the audiobook was good. Like, there was nothing I can complain about. It was really, really good book. Also read it in the TikTok videos thing. It was really a pretty good one. We have Hero of the Ages, and I'm gonna say Nobody Puts Baby in a Corner, because this is a third book in the Final Empire trilogy, where Mistborn trilogy, where the Final Empire is the first book. And like, I love the first book, did not like at all the second book. I thought the ending was the only good part about it. And so I had very low expectations for A Hero of Ages, but it ended up pulling through and it was really good. I wouldn't say it had me at hello because I thought it would be bad. But Nobody Puts Baby in a Corner. I feel like nobody puts Brandon Sanderson in a corner. The next book we have is The House in the Cerulean Sea. So this is an adult contemporary fantasy and it kind of reads like a middle grade but for adults. It's really cute. We follow this caseworker who deals with magical children. It was really good. You know what made it Ma? It was beautiful. It was LGBTQ. It was all about loving and belonging. I really loved this book. It was so adorable and like, I think everyone should check it out. Woo. The next book we have is Ice Massacre. So this one is about mermaids again. I think it's about this girl who befriends a mermaid. It's a queer romance. I know what, I would say I Wish I Knew How to Quit You because I really enjoyed it. I don't know if it was good quality wise, like it had some kinks and stuff, but I thought it was really solid entry and a really solid romance as well. Ooh, okay, Infinity Chords. So this one is a sci-fi novel where when you die, your consciousness moves to this world where basically an Alexa, you know, like Alexa or Siri, one of those took over, and the main character has to fight with the rebellion to like free the afterlife. I would say it's Nobody Puts Baby in a Corner because no, it's really underrated. No, I've not heard that much about it since it came out, but like I really enjoyed it. I have a video with like 5 reasons why you should read it and stuff. So like it was a really good book for me. Okay, then we have The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. So this is V. Schwab's newest book and it's about Addie LaRue who makes this bargain with the devil to live forever. Okay, I'm putting it in Mama Says Stupid Is as Stupid Boss Does because I had such high expectations and in the end it was massive disappointment. I think the author did not really get anything. This main character lived for hundreds of years. She only been to America and Europe. So I would consider that Stupid Is as Stupid Does. It wasn't terrible in terms of writing. Like V. Schwab has beautiful writing. We all knew that, but like disappointment. Okay, then we have Jasmine Throne. So this is a book written by a South Asian author. We follow a princess who's exiled and a servant and it's a queer romance and like I was so surprised. It was so good. I'm putting it Made It Ma, Top of the World. I don't know if it's YA or adult fantasy because Goodreads says both and like I'm not sure, but like it reads like a proper adult fantasy with a really complex world, complex magic and a religion system, which I always find fascinating. So like for me, Top of the World, I love that book. So next up we have Lakewood, which is it's a novel about this girl who has to join medical trials to pay for her mother's medical bills, funnily enough, and it's about Black trauma and how people of color were exploited by the medical system. It was really good. It was really gruesome. I'm putting it Nobody Puts Baby in a Corner because like I feel like this one doesn't always get the clout it maybe deserves. Next up we have Legend Born. So this book is kind of a retelling of the Arthurian legends. So we follow our main character. For some reason, I think her name's Bree, but I'm not sure. And she goes to this school, like really good university, but she's kind of pre-university. She's like a high school student, but it's like some special summer course. And turns out there's this whole society based on the legend of King Arthur, and they think they're descendants of King Arthur. I really legitimately think that it's Matt made it to the top of the world. It was so unique and so special and talked about Black trauma and generational trauma in such a compelling way. I really found it fascinating. I think it deserves all the praise it gets. Top of the world, absolutely brilliant. Then we have Lore, which is a new, it's like there's this whole tournament where they have to fight, and it's based on Greek gods. I could have been somebody instead of a bum, which is what I am. So boring, I don't even want to talk about it. Love Beyond Body, Time and Space is an anthology with indigenous authors, all like sci-fi and fantasy. I'm putting it Nobody Puts Baby in a Corner because it was really interesting and I feel like it needs some more clout, you know? Then we have One by One by Ruth Ware, which is a thriller about this group of co-workers stuck together because of an avalanche on top of a ski resort and they start dying. So this one's an interesting one because like it did some things I did not expect it to do and things I did not think I'd like, but I ended up quite enjoying it. So I'm putting it in Nobody Puts Baby in a Corner. Ruth Ware is such a good writer, especially when it comes to thrillers, so like I feel like that's deserved. Queen of Vaults, which is the third book in the Ace of Shades trilogy. Love the whole trilogy. It's absolutely brilliant. It's kind of like Las Vegas, that kind of thing, but absolutely amazing magic system. I talk about it so much you don't care, but I'm putting it at top of the world. This series is just so good. Every single book slapped harder than the previous one, and I don't know how the author did that, but she did, so it's just absolutely amazing. Okay, the next book is Rhapsodic, which is a dark fairy romance. We follow this girl who's got a lot of debts to pay to this person called the Bargainer. I feel like there's a failure to communicate. I enjoy the whole thing except for the fact that she was like 14 or something when they started dating and he was an adult. Not started dating, sorry, when they met. And then they started dating when she's like proper an adult. Maybe she wasn't 14, maybe she was like 16, but it just rubs me the wrong way and I couldn't really get on board with the romance because of that. Yeah, it was like alright, but not quite at the I wish I knew how to quit you. I feel like I could quit it quite easily. Then we have Shadow of the Gods, which is a book by John Gwynne, who's the author of Malice. And this one is all about Norse mythology, Norse gods. I was really surprised how much I liked it. So Shadow of the Gods, I think it goes to Nobody Puts... no, you know, you had me at hello. It was like really solid. I really loved what they did with female characters. Really well done. Then we have Strange the Dreamer, which is a book by Laini Taylor, and it's about the city of Weep that is thought to not exist, but our main character is like really in love with the concept and he gets to visit it. Made it, Ma, top of the world, absolutely gorgeous book. I loved it. The themes, the writing, the characters, everything about it was just out of this world. Then we have Sweet and Bitter Magic, which is a YA fantasy queer romance about a witch and a source, which is the source of magic. It's like an enemies to lovers. It was cute, but like I feel like there's a failure to communicate because I thought it was just like okay. Like it was cute for what it was, but nothing special. But it's like such a popular video of mine, the review for it. So I don't know if everyone else loved it and I was just like an outlier, or maybe the people that loved it were the people that I said would probably love it, just not for me. The next book is Sword of Kaigen. If you watched any of my videos, you know this is my favorite book of the year. It's about honor, family, meaning, belonging, everything wonderful. Sword of Kaigen, top of the world, made it, Ma. Honestly, it's about motherhood and I love it so much. The Gilded Ones. So this one's about a girl who lives in a society where if your blood is red, you are fine, but if your blood is gold, you get killed. And she's got gold blood, what do you know? That was a really good one. I would say Nobody Puts Baby in a Corner. Like, it was a really solid book. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was really beautiful how they weaved female friendship in it and the cultural signifiers and everything. Like, I thought it was all very pleasant. I really enjoyed it. I can't wait for the sequels though. Then we have The Ivies by Alexa Dawn. This one definitely goes to Nobody Puts Baby in a Corner because it's so underrated. Like, I made a video and it has terrible views. I mean, maybe it's just my videos that have terrible views, but like normally it would do way better. This one's about a school with these girls called the Ivies, and this is a group of girls who want to get into the Ivy schools, and the main character is one of them, and then a murder happens. I love this book. I thought it was really well written. Yeah, I hated the final twist. Like, it was really, really weak. But overall, for the whole thing, it was good. So I would say it's underrated. Like, people need to read it a bit more. Then we have The Only Good Indians. This book is by a Native American author, and it's about this group of hunters that killed a deer in the forest a long time ago, and now the deer is hunting them, kind of. It's like a thriller, but it's very weird and like very like you don't know what's happening. And when I started reading, I thought I wouldn't like it because the way it was written was so disjointed and it kind of made no sense. But then, like, as it went, it just got so good. So I would say You Had Me at Hello in a sense that I love it, but like it did not have me at hello, but it definitely not underrated. People love this book. Then we have The Wife Upstairs, which is a contemporary thriller retelling of Jane Eyre. Mama says stupid is, mas stupid does. It was good for the thing that the actors in doing the audiobook had good accents, but that's pretty much all like I have to say about it. The Wolf of Oren Yarrow. This book is about this queen who has to reclaim her throne. There's a failure to communicate because I thought it was going to be some badass warrior woman, and because she's pitched as the bitch queen, and like it was fine, but like most of the time she was kind of flailing and really failing, and it did not resonate with me. I'm sorry. Then we have This Is Going to Hurt, which is a non-fiction memoir by a junior doctor who worked for the NHS, and I would say You Had Me at Hello. It was a brilliant concept, brilliant execution. Wicked As You Wish. It goes to the failure to communicate because I was told that it was a YA fantasy, but it really would work way better as a middle grade, and I thought it was like, ugh. Which is Steeped in Gold. This one would say it's going to You Had Me at Hello because I love the cover, then I love the book, I love the premise. It's about two witches having to fight for the right to the throne, and it was gorgeous. I really loved it. It was beautiful writing, beautiful cover, beautiful everything about it. Then we have Writing Into the Wound, which was really good book. You Had Me at Hello. It was very short, so I'm not thinking it's the top of the world, but it was about the author's experiences being black, disabled, and gay, and all of that came into it. And like writing about trauma as well, and how that can be really, really healing. The Year of the Witching. I would say You Had Me at Hello. I was really sold seeing the cover, and the book itself was really good. It's about Emmanuel, who turns out has some witch blood in her, and it's this dark, mysterious world where people hate witches. I don't know. So yeah, that's my list. I'm actually so happy to see the majority of the books are in the Nobody Puts Baby in the Corner or higher list. This is not just me being nice, this is me being honest. I read a lot of wonderful books. That's because I quite like try to pick good books. I'm not picking books to hate them, you know what I mean? This is already a long video. My camera's flashing that it's too hot, so I'm gonna say goodbye. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know what tier you would put the books in. Do you agree, disagree? Were the tiers okay? Let me know if you'd like another tier video. I had so much fun doing this actually, so I'm happy to do another one. If you enjoyed this video, if you comment, like and subscribe, I'd really appreciate it. But that's it from me, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye!